So here's a dichotomy for you. Book smarts and street smarts. Which one do you think is the better one to have? I'll give you 3 seconds. You can guess what it is. I'm pretty sure the answer is obvious, but I'll give it to you just in case. All right, 3 seconds to guess. Which one's better? Three, two, one. Yes, you're correct. It's street smarts. So everyone should be having street smarts. It gets you in the real world. You'll understand it better. You'll know what to do with your life. You can handle people properly, and you're socially easier to understand, and you know more things. And whenever I hear people talk about book smarts, it's usually the opposite. Like there was this movie once. I don't know what movie it was. I believe it was a David Spade movie. I can't remember though. So if I'm wrong, let me know, or if anyone even will do that. It was talking about how street smarts is the better one to have and how book smarts is not the way to go, or something like that. I've only seen the scene once. It was on TV once, and I only saw it like one time, so I'm going off of memory. I can't remember like what the line was actually like. But like, so there's that. And then at one point, my sister one time was telling me how, like, I was telling my sister, oh, I don't know what to do in the real world. I don't know how to do certain things because it's true, I don't. Like taxes and stuff. Huh, the taxes, man. But, you know, my sister told me that it's a street smarts thing or a book smarts thing. If I'm more of a book smart person, so that means that I know less of the real world, even though I know more about books. And she wasn't saying it in a mean way, but it had that connotation like having book smarts means you're like dumber or you don't know how the real world works, so you're kind of dumb when it comes to real world situations. Whereas people that are street smart, they know they have it all. Like they can just suavely go up to someone and talk to them and know how to deal with people and they just know everything and there's just like uh anyway. And then at one point, one of my uncles was talking. This might get confusing. I'll try to explain it eloquently. Um, one of my uncles was talking about his brother, which is another uncle of mine, about how he doesn't know how to do certain things. I can't remember what it was, but he like doesn't. One uncle was talking about how his brother didn't know how to like do certain things, and something like that. I really wish I knew exactly what it was. 'Cause it was a couple weeks ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago when I heard this. And and then my uncle who was talking about his brother, he was saying that his brother has more of book smarts than street smarts, so that's why he doesn't know how to do like certain things. And it's true because my uncle's brother, he's a teacher. He's been a teacher for a long time. He likes to read, and so that made my other uncle that made him kind of blame it on being book smart, and that's the reason why his brother doesn't know practical stuff. And so every time I hear about book smarts, it's always in a negative light. It always seems like you want to be street smart. That's the positive one. That's the one everyone should be, because that means you'll know what to do with your life, and that makes you more, I don't know, maybe attractive, maybe like more easygoing and more like someone to talk to that's charismatic probably. And I just think to myself, when I heard my uncle talking about his brother that day, I just realized in my head, I kind of got like this thought in my head. I was like, because I'm a book smart person, so I like to read, I like to write, I like to, I'm starting to get more philosophical. I can tell, I can feel it. I'm thinking more deeply about things. And when my uncle was talking about his brother being book smart in kind of a negative way, not like super negative, but it had a negative connotation, it just made me think about myself because I'm book smart too, like that, like my uncle's brother. He's book smart, I'm book smart. We both don't know how to figure out certain things in the real world. Although my book smart uncle though, he at least knows like he knows how to handle things because he has his own house and kids and he knows like how to operate in the real world. But for me, it's like I still live with my parents right now. I've been living in the same house ever since I was born. I don't, when I went to college and stuff, I would commute there. I would commute and instead of living in a dorm. And unlike my sister, who lives in a dorm, she lives far away. She goes to a college that's farther away, and she has to live out in the dorm. And she experiences the real world. And she's the street smart person in my family. So you got her, who's street smart, and then me, I'm book smart. And honestly, I'm starting to think like I'm starting to feel kind of like insecure about this. I never really did that. I would kind of like pride myself on it, which pride is bad. Don't be prideful, be humble, be grateful. So I'd be like, wow, I'm book smart. I like to read. That's always good. I'm so glad I'm getting more philosophical and stuff. And wow, I like this. This is great. I mean, I was liking it because I mean, in school, I never paid attention. I never really cared. I just did my own thing. I just lived like I'd like to read, but I was more just living my own life. I didn't care. But now, as of right now, and ever since I started reading classics back in 2023 and the Bible more, my mind's been expanding. I can tell God's giving me more wisdom, so I'm glad about that. At the same time, though, I have this voice in my head, this little teeny tiny voice in my head that's going, oh, you're weird. You're weird because you're book smart. This is why you don't know how to do taxes, and you don't know how to do laundry, and you don't know how to do XYZ. It's because you're book smart. And that's the reason why it's a negative thing because you need to know this stuff, but you don't. And then it's like, I don't like it, but I can't help feeling that way. So I'm gonna put this in another video after this, so I'm gonna stop talking for now. I'm gonna talk more about this in part two. So this is part one about being book smart. So, yep, see ya there.